Sorry, I'm a little bit late with this month's Bujo. It's already May, but we've been at the seaside at my dad's place, my kid's grandpa, so we had a lot of fun and no place to shoot a video. So sorry, but I'll make it up to you with some very cute ladybugs. At least I hope you will like them. It's a popular theme in Bullet Journal, probably, because ladybugs are always popular, and I kind of chose them because I need luck this month. So keep the fingers crossed that everything works out the best for me. And I'll let you know all about that in the next month video once I get to know how everything unfolds. But until then, let's see how to make ladybug trackers, ladybug monthlies and ladybug weeklies. There are a lot of spreads and I'm sure you'll find at least one that will fancy your interest. Come and join me! First off, I started with the title in big chunky letters that I could fill with ladybug pattern. And just because I like the look of it, I wrote the title again in script letters over it. Then I added a bunch of ladybirds. I never know, is it ladybirds or ladybugs? I've seen both versions. Can somebody tell me? Ladybug would be more logical for my biologic brain at least, but I've seen ladybird quite a few times. And that's what kids learned at school. So, I don't know. Anyhow, I drew a bunch of them, however you call them, and I didn't want to bore you with all of them, so I just skipped that part. When I was painting them, I first colored them all red and then added the black dots. Whenever the base color is much lighter than the detail color, you can get away with this, and it's much easier and quicker to paint, as you'll be able to see later on, where we have to leave the dots white. And on the left, there's my monthly, this time just a normal vertical layout of the monthly, with a ladybug on a leaf, of course. Now let's get into our trackers. I drew 31 circles that will later become ladybugs, and I drew 7 dots in each of them. That's because I decided on 7 trackers, because our ladybugs have 7 dots. I know there are different ladybugs, and if you prefer to track more or less things, you can go with another species that has more or less dots. Don't worry about it. But 7 seemed a good number for me for this month. And on the other page, I drew one big ladybird with 31 dots. I can use that as a mood tracker, I can use that as a sleep tracker. You could use that even as a monthly if you write really tiny. Now on to the painting, and as you can see, it's much more time consuming to paint around every dot on the ladybug pattern. But here I need it because I will use it as a tracker and I need to fill it in later on, according to what I will do or not do. The key to painting large washes like this with a bit more detailed designs is to keep the edges wet at all times. So, as you can see, I'm painting a little bit of here and a little bit of there so that the edge is always wet. If you live in humid environment, that's not such a big problem, but if you live somewhere dry or if you use a central heating system or something like that and the air is really dry, it can be quite a problem to make a nice transition with no burnt-in edges. Now on to my ideas page. It's very simple, just a big branch with leaves and ladybugs on it. I love swirls and circles and spirals, so this is my jam. And of course, as you can imagine, I love nature and leaves and everything like that, so this is just right up my alley. And this spread really made me happy while I was doing it. I hope you find something that will make you happy as well, at least by watching, if not by doing. When I'm painting, I'm using 2 exactly the same brushes, one with light green and the other one with darker green color. And I'm trying to make each leaf a little bit varied in its color. In nature, nothing is just monotone, monochrome with just one color. There's always variation, if from nothing else, from shading. So let's use that in our bullet journal to make our spreads a bit more interesting. It doesn't need to be realistic You don't need to pay attention to the light source if you don't really feel like it. As you can see, I didn't do that here. The light source is spread all over the page. But hey, this is not going to hang in a gallery. It's just in my bullet journal. And I enjoyed painting it, so mission completed. Now here comes my favorite weekly spread of them all. I just drew a ladybug on a leaf for each daily and one extra for a to-do list. Because I always like to have a special separate to-do list for the whole week. Sometimes there are some tasks that I don't know which day I will get to them, but I know I want to get to them in this week. And I put them there. The ladybugs are very simple to draw. Even little kids can draw ladybugs and they always look cute. No matter how wiggly you make them, no matter how good you can draw, ladybugs always look cute. If you don't believe me, just try and draw a ladybug. It's really hard to mess them up. And the leaf is just 2 curves. My next weekly has flying ladybugs. Each weekly is separated by a flying trail of the ladybug that flows into a header for the day. I found out that I can usually get all my tasks, at least during the week, in these little circles because I actually don't have that much more time. And if I give myself more place to write, I just write more things to do and I don't have the time to do them all and I get frustrated. So this is actually not a bad idea. I literally don't let myself write too many things in advance, like weeks in advance. Now that's some planning, right? If you've been here before, you know I can't go without at least one circular design. I always like to have one big central design. Sometimes it's some scene in a circle, sometimes it's just a big bold design in the middle of the page. And this time it's a giant ladybug that has 6 legs, like all bugs have, if you didn't know. And no, spiders are not bugs, they have 4 pairs of legs, so 8 in total. And the bugs have just 3 pairs. But this is perfect for our weekly because we have 5 working days and then there's weekend. So even if you want to have another bug theme, you can always take advantage of their 6 legs for the weeklies. Now the next weekly, as you can see, also plays with the theme of flying trail. Only this time is one big flying trail that flies across the page and makes loops that become my dailies. And the last bullet journal page is my last weekly because May has 5 weeks. And this one is just a vertical setup with 6 parts. That means 3 on each page, 5 working days and 1 for the weekend again. I like to have at least 1 week where I limit myself with the weekend space, from the exactly same reason that I do little dailies. And here's the final flip through of the whole month with my bright cover and a lot of dots for my trackers. I hope a lot of them will be filled in. And here we have the idea page that I really like. This kind of painting always brings me joy and it's so much fun. So I hope you find something that you like to paint as much as I like to paint things like this. And now here are our weeklies. I really like this first week. It's kind of, gentle and cute. And it turned out really nice. I like it a lot. This is the week where I don't want to be too busy in advance. And the giant ladybug week with 6 legs for 6 days. And another one that shouldn't be too busy with the flying trail. And you can make this for any kind of flying creature. Not just for ladybugs, also for butterflies, for birds and so on. I hope you find something useful. I hope you like it. And I hope to see you in my next video. If you like what you see, subscribe to see more. Bye bye!